Good morning, parents. Good morning, students. I hope that your Friday morning is off to a great start, that you had some breakfast and you are ready to go. This is going to be our math lesson. I am going to share my screen and we'll just get going on math. Today we're going to be building a skill that we have been working on since um, when did we start? Since the beginning of the year, we've been working on multi-digit multiplication for a while, and we are going to continue to work on that. We have mastered, for the most part, multiplying two-digit numbers by two-digit numbers. So today we're going to be working on multiplying three-digit numbers by two-digit numbers. All right, so boys and girls, I hope you have your pencils, you have your volume one math book, Big Idea Math book. So that's what we're going to be using as we work through this lesson. So give me a minute to just share my screen shortly. All right, so we're getting started right now. All right, so like I said, we'll be working on multiplying two-digit numbers by two-digit numbers. So let's just jump in and get started. The objective of this lesson will be, in this lesson, you will learn how to multiply multi-digit numbers using standard algorithm. And these are some words that we need to know. These are words that we've been using all year long. Most of them are on our word wall in the classroom, but I wanted to just kind of remind you that multiplication is the operation that uses repeated addition of the same number or combining of equal groups. And then we've been looking at factors, and factors are numbers that are multiplied by another to find a product. For example, the factors of 6, remember we always give them in pairs, 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. And then of course we have partial product. We're not necessarily going to be using the partial product method today, but I just wanted to drop it in the event that that's something that you would like to look at. And this is when we're multiplying by multi-digit multiplier, and the results obtained when a factor is multiplied by the value of one of the digits. And then of course you already know that a product is the answer to a multiplication problem. All right, so let's just jump into the lesson. And so my first question is, how would you multiply 512 times 46? I know some of you may be thinking in your head, this is a really big number. Oh my gosh, Ms. Saunders, I can't believe this is what we're working on, but yes. We're gonna work to try and either build this skill, or for some of us today, we can actually go ahead and master the skill. All right, so remember the product is the result when two numbers are multiplied. For example, 4 times 5, these are the factors of 20. And so the product or the answer is 20. Multiplication is the repeated addition, as we would have said. So 32 times 5 is the same thing as saying 32 plus 32 plus 32 plus 32. And that will probably take you a little bit of time to set that problem up and be able to add all of your ones and all of your tens. However, if this is easier for you, that's quite fine. So we're multiplying 32 times 5. All right, and then I want you to remember we've been using this rule, and it's called multiplying by powers of 10, which makes it a little bit easier. So in this case, we're multiplying 36 times 10, which gives us 360. You guys know that once there's a 0 in that ones place, it can be ignored, and we're literally multiplying by 1. That's your identity property of multiplication, which we have been working on all year long. 1 times any number gives you 1. So 1 times 36 gave you 36, and then you take that 0 from the 10 over to the other side. The same thing with 36 times 100. So we are going to multiply 1 times 36, giving us 36. We have 2 zeros here, and we're going to take those 2 zeros over to our product. And lastly, 36 times 1,000. 1 times 36 is 36, and those 3 zeros, we take them over to the product side. And that's our ease in multiplying by powers of 10. Multiplying each digit as if it represents, so this is a common mistake that we make, multiplying digit as if it represents a number of ones. It is important to remember the place value of each digit. So 36 times 5, in essence, what we're doing is 30 times 5 and 6 times 5, and then we're bringing the product of those two separate sums together. All right, so one of the first ones we're going to work on is multiplying 512 by 46, as I said before. So first thing that we'll need to do is multiply 512 by 6, and we're going to write that on the top line. And then we're going to multiply 512 by 40, and that goes on the second line. And boys and girls, remember that 0 is not necessary. So what we do is we take the 0 from 40 and we put it on the second line. I'm going to demonstrate all of this after I'm done with the instructions. But what we do is we go ahead and we put a 0 on that second line, and then we multiply 4 times 2, 1 times 2, and 5 times 2. And then we're going to have two separate lines of numbers that we will add together. As I said, I'm going to demonstrate shortly. So here we go. We multiply 4 times 6 is 12. We put down the 2 and we carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6. And we add that 1 and giving us 7. And then 5 times 6 is 30. So we get that first row of numbers in here. The next thing we do is we take the 0 from 40 and we put it in. Remember, we call that our placeholder. We call that we're not going to get confused. So once we would have done that, we will go ahead and we will multiply 4 times 2 gives us 8. 4 times 1 gives us 4. And then 4 times 5 is 20. So you have those two rows of numbers and we will add those together. So 0 plus 2 gives me 2. 8 plus 7 gives me 15. I put down the 5, carry the 1. 0 times 0 plus 4 gives me 4 plus that 1 that we carried up here is 5. 3 plus 0 is 3. And then we have nothing to add to 2, and we just have 2. And so we get 23,552 as our product. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and stop this slide, and I'm going to take you to another spot where I will actually work this problem out, just to demonstrate what we would have done prior to this one. All right, so I'm opening what is known as a Jamboard. If I can just move this out of my way, give me 2 seconds. All right, and so boys and girls, this is a Jamboard, and it allows me to write on that board and actually show you live. So we have 354, and we're going to be multiplying that by 64. 354 times 64. All right. So there we go. We have our problem written out. And so remember, we're going to take this 4. I'll just show you. I'm going to, go ahead and circle the 4. That's what we're multiplying by initially. So we're going to go 4 times 4 is 16, which gives me I'm going to put down my 6, which is in the ones place, and we carry the 1 on top of the 5. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. We put down the 1 and carry the 2 at the top. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and multiply 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. So I'm done multiplying my first line of numbers. Now we're gonna go ahead and we are going to take the 0 from 60. So don't forget, 4 is in the ones place, 6 is in the tens place, so that 6 represents 60. I'm taking the 0 from 60, so I'll put it on the side so you can see that 60, I'm taking that 0 and I'm putting it at the beginning. Remember, that's going to be called our placeholder. All right, that's gonna keep us from making an error. It's just holding a place. All right, now, then we're gonna multiply by 6 at this time. 6 times 4 is 24. I'm gonna put down the 4 and carry the 2. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 2 is 32. I'm putting down my 2 and carry my 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. Boys and girls, it's important to line up digit under digit. All right, now we can go ahead and we can add these two row of numbers together. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 4 is 5. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 1 plus 1 is 2. I have nothing to add to my 2, and so my problem is all done. It is 22,656. All right, so that's our first example. Boys and girls, remember, you can always stop this video, you can pause, you can replay, you can even, before I work out the problem, you can actually stop and see if you can do it on your own. So let's just try one more. I'm going to erase this board right now. By the way, just so that we are keeping what we do in the classroom as usual, I hope that you are seeing my I can statement at the top of the screen, which I should have said to you before I started working out the problem, but I'll say it now. We are working on the I can statement. I can multiply multi-digit numbers using the standard algorithm. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna think of one of my favorite, some of my favorite numbers. I'm gonna put a number together. And let's just call this number 436. And we're gonna multiply by 24, all right? All right, my problem is set up and we can start multiplying. So 4 times 6 is 24. I'm going to put down the 4. All right, I'm making an error and that happens sometimes. So I'm going to put down the 4 and I'm carrying the 2 right at the top. All right, we're going to go ahead and multiply 4 now times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. I'm putting down the 4 and carry the 1. Then lastly, we're going to do 4 times 4. 4 times 4 gives me 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. So my first row of multiplying is done. And don't forget now, this 2 in 24 is 20. Listen to how we say that, 24. So rather than multiplying 20 times 6 and 20 times 3 and 20 times 4, I'm going to take the 0 from 20 and I'm going to put it right at the beginning of the second line. And again, boys and girls, this is our place holder. All right, that's going to keep us from making an error. Now I'm going to go ahead and multiply 2 times 6 gives me 12. I'm putting down the 2 and I carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 gives me 7. And we'll go ahead and multiply 2 times 4 gives me 8. And we are done with our multiplying. We will add these 2 rows together for our product. All right, so 0 plus 4 is 4. 6 plus 2 is 4 plus 2 is 6. 7 plus 7 is 14. Putting down my 4 and I will carry the 1 over to the thousands place. So that gives me 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 plus 8 is 10. So we have 10,464. All right, so that's our product for this particular problem. All right, so boys and girls, I will just pop over here. So underneath this video, I'm going to post, we use Mr. J often. Mr. J is going to teach you exactly what I taught you in this video. But in the event that somehow whatever I said maybe did not reach you, you can go ahead and watch Mr. J's video. And so I will drop the link underneath this video so that you can also use that as a way of getting some additional help. All right, so it's time for you to do something to show me that you understood what we have been working on. As I said, this is building, you are accustomed to creating, to solving math problems where you have 2-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers. We just extended it a little bit, and we now have 3-digit numbers that we're multiplying by 2-digit numbers. All right, so boys and girls, you already know a lot about multiplying. You're going to need your tables. Please go ahead, make sure you have your tables nearby, handy, in the event that you need them, and you need to, because multiplying, you need to be precise, and one little error can throw you off a little bit. So as normal, you do have classwork, which is in your Big Idea Volume 1. We would have put that in your bag on Thursday. And so we'll be working on page 154, 158 to 159. And then, of course, you have homework. You can do this whenever you so desire during the school week. Your spring break week, you can actually go ahead and do the homework any day. But today in class, I want you to work on 158 to 59. If you'd like to do the homework in the same sitting, you are absolutely free to do those as well. All right, so boys and girls, have fun. If you have any question, you can shoot me a dojo question as well. And have a great day of learning at home. And then go ahead and have a wonderful spring break. And we will see you back after spring break. Have a good one. I'm going to just stop sharing at the moment. And goodbye.